Hello, everybody, and welcome to the world according to Lonza Halloween Edition 2021. And tonight, since it's Halloween, I thought it'd be fun to just sit back and read some unfamiliar Edgar Allan Poe poems. Uh, you can see I have my jack-o'-lantern background. I just watched some Universal pre-code horror films that I've been talking about, Dracula and Frankenstein. And I thought I would end the night, since it's about 10:30, with I would just read some random poems that I picked from this book to for you all to enjoy. That the whole 20 of you that are 30 of you that or however how many of you have uh, subscribed to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys enjoy these poems. I've selected these poems because these are not popular Edgar Allan Poe poems. The first one's called The Colosseum, and we're mixing a little bit of maybe Roman mythology and uh, Gothic horrorism. Not horrorism, but whatever it is. Let's see what this poem is all about. It's called The Colosseum, and it's by Edgar Allan Poe. Here we go. The Colosseum. Type of antique Rome, which with quality of lofty contempt left to time by buried centuries of pomp and power. At length, after so many days of weary pilgrims' burning thirst for spring of lore that thee lie, I kneel, I altered and humbled man, aim in thy shadows, so drink within. My very soul garner gloom and glory, vastness and age, memories, eld, silence, desolation, on dim night. I feel ye now, I feel ye in your strength. O spells more than your Julian king taught in gardens of Gidmiash, O charms point raptic clearly ever drew down from out quiet stars. Here, where a hero fell, column falls, here with mimic eagle glared and gold, a midnight vigil holds the soaring bat. Wave to the wind, now wave, reed thistle, here on the golden throne, march aloud, get a spectral like into this marble home, lit unto this marble home, lit one by horn moon, the swift and silent lizard of the stones. But stay, these walls, these ivory clad arcades, these marling pillars, these sad and blanket shafts, these vogue interments crumbling, freezing, these shattered carneries, this wreck, this ruin, these stones, alas, these gray stones, they are all famed and callous left by chorus, ours to fate and me. Not all echoes answered me, not all prophetic sounds and loud arises forever from us, from all ruin unto wise, a melody murmuring to the sun. We rule the hearts of mightiest men. We rule the diplomatic sway of giant minds, and we are important, pallid stones. Not all our power is gone, not all our fame, not all the magic of our high-end reverend, not all wonder of recklessness, not all the mysteries that in us lie, not all the memories hang upon, not all the chain around us garment, clothing us in robe of more than glory. Alright, that's the Colosseum. As you can tell, that poem was a little hard to read, but I did my best. And I hope you guys enjoy that poem. And now I'm going to read a few, I see a few very short Edgar Allan Poe poems. And I don't really know, or I don't really think that you guys have probably heard these. Because there are a few short ones. So, let's do it. This one's called Hymn. At morn, at noon, at twilight dim, Mariah, thou hast heard thy hymn. In joy and woe, in good and ill, Mother of God, be with me still. And not a cloud obscured the sky. Thy grace, thy guide to thine and thee. Thy grace, thy guide to thine and thee. Now when the storms of fate arrest, darkly present and my past, let my future radiant shine, with sweet hopes of thee and thine. So that was a poem called Hymn by Edgar Allan Poe. Of course, Edgar Allan Poe is famous for being associated with Halloween, so that's why I'm giving you his poems tonight. I will continue reading my own personal poems later on in my other videos. But tonight I'm just doing some classic poetry. And then at the end of the video I'm going to give you one movie, actually two movies that are of the pre-cult cinema that you guys should consider watching if you want that leftover candy horror fest feel in November 1st. If you still want to have some pre-cult horror movies to watch that you haven't finished watching because you've been too busy to watch your horror fest. So I will give you two movies after I read I think three more poems from Edgar Allan Poe. All right. The next one is called 2F. That's the name of the poem. 2F. Beloved, aim earnest woes. The crowd around thy earthly path. Their path, at last, where it grows. Not even my lonely rose. My soul, at least solace hath in dreams of thee therein knows an Eldon of fallen response. And thus, thy memory is to me like enchanted far off island in some throneless sea, some ocean throbbing far and free, with storms but where meanwhile secret skies continually just on bright island smile. Please comment below, well, if you can, and tell me what you think of 2F, or if you heard the poem by Edgar Allan Poe, 2F. Oh, by the way, do you guys like my Bela Lugosi shirt? It's a new shirt. I'm a jack-o'-lantern. We're rolling with some Halloween 2021 poems. All right, guys. Well, I'm not going to read The Raven because I'm sure y'all read The Raven. If you're all wondering. But 2 more poems from Edgar Allan Poe. And then I'm going to give you 2 films that I think you guys should watch. If you guys enjoy pre-code cinema. All right. The last poem was called 2F. And I don't think it means to have sex. But who knows? This is called 2F blank SOA. I don't know what it is. And this is 1820s, 1830 poetry. So here we go. Another short one by the famous Baltimore citizen Edgar Allan Poe. Thou, 2FSOA. Okay, here we go. Thou wouldst be loved. Then let thy heart from its present pathway part not, being everything which now thou art, being nothing which now thou art not. So with the world gentle ways, thy grace, thy more, thy beauty shall be endless theme of praise, and love a simple duty. Interesting, huh? A lot of his poems are mysterious, but I think they're all about all of his. Edgar Allan Poe was known for being a womanizer. Or maybe a creepy womanizer. Who knows? It was 1830s. Okay. So I don't really like to analyze the poems that I read because I think it would be a better conversation if you write your comment to what you think the poetry is about, and then I can say, that's a good idea, or I don't agree with that idea, and we can just have a good, lovely conversation about Gothic literature in poetry. All right. So I would suggest that you guys do read all of Edgar Allan poems and short stories. If you like classic literature, or if you like anything with movies today, with like Tim Burton, or if you ever seen The Shape of Water, or stuff like that, like guys, I'm sorry, I have a hard time. The director of Shape of Water, Galileo, whatever. I have a hard time saying last names. Um, but I like gothic. I like gothic cinema, especially on Halloween. So one more poem, and then I'm gonna give you two more recommendations. Okay, this is a famous poem, and well, they're all kind of famous, and and I think you guys are gonna like it. It's called "The Spirits of the Dead" by Edgar Allan Poe. Last poem tonight, and two recommendations. Spirits of the Dead. 1. Thy soul shall find itself alone, mid dark thought of grey tombstone. Not one of all crowd to pray into thine hour of secrecy. 2. Be silent in solitude, which is not loneliness. For then the spirit of the dead, who stood in life before thee, or again in death around thee, and there shall overshadow thee, be still. 3. The night, O clear, shall frown, and the stars shall look not down from their high thrones in heaven, with light and hope and mortals given. But their red orbs without beam to thy weariness shall sing, and burn and fever which would cling to thee forever. 4. Now thought thou shalt not banish. Now are visions near to vanish. From thy spirit shall they pass, no more like dewdrops from the grass. 5. The breeze, the breath of God, is still the mist upon the hill. Shadowy, yet unbroken, is thy symbol and a token. How it hangs upon the trees of mysteries. All right, that was Edgar Allan Poe poems. And I suggest, if you want to hear any more poems, that you listen to some more clearer, crisp people than I. I do my best. I hope you enjoyed my poetry reading. But Christopher Lee, if you Google or YouTube Christopher Lee, The Raven, Venice, There's some good Vince Pierce, uh, The Raven. Just Google The Raven, YouTube. You will like it. It is good. So now I'm going to give you my two recommendations for some films that are maybe under the radar that you can watch that is gothic-y. So if you've seen Dracula, I know all of you have seen most of you have probably seen the 1931 Bela Lugosi Todd Browning production of Dracula. His Bela Lugosi's second film is a short story from Edgar Allan Poe called Murders in the Rue Morgue. Murders in the Rue Morgue. This is what the DVD Blu-ray looks like, or Blu-ray looks like. It's only an hour long. It's another film from Universal. I think it was filmed on the Universal lot, and I think you will clearly enjoy it. So watch Dracula, Frankenstein, and then those are 1931. If you want to go to the next phase in 1932, Bela Lugosi's first film, or second film with Universal would be Murders in the Rue Morgue. Interesting fact is about this time in 1932 that Bela Lugosi just became bankrupt, or shortly after. He had a good amount of success and probably had some good income, but that's what they say. Around 1932, 1933, right after his fame, he got a little bit of in trouble financially. But Google it if you don't take my word, or find out for yourself. But this is a great Edgar Allan Poe movie. He did other films with him and Boris Karloff. He did The Black Cat after this, and I'm trying to think of some other. I know he did Black Friday. The Raven. This is like a three-piece Edgar Allan Poe filmology, you can say. Murders in the Rue Morgue, Black Cat in 1934, and the Raven in 1935. Those will be all starring Bela Lugosi, and I think you should watch them all. But to start off with this, my first recommendation for Pre-Code Cinema horror edition, unknown horror edition film is Murder Rue Morgue. It takes place in 1845, so it takes place when Edgar Allan Poe is alive, and takes place in Paris, and it has an ape, and it's right before King Kong. An ape goes wild and murderous, and it kind of reminds you of what's to come with the foresty tropics of the King Kong world. The very next year, apes and monkeys and gorillas are very popular with the film King Kong, starring Fay Wray. And my second film is not from Universal that I recommend, and I'm going to watch it for the first time ever tonight, because I haven't seen it before and I really want to see it. It's from the director of Casablanca, of all things. One of his early films, Michael Curtiz. Steven Spielberg loves Michael Curtiz. It's from the director of Michael Curtiz did Casablanca, did some movies with Humphrey Bogart, other movies with Humphrey Bogart. Robin Hood was one of the movies, very diverse. Captain Blood with Errol Flynn, with the Michael Curtiz. production, crap load of films. But one of its earlier films, gothic films, horror films, I believe from Warner Brothers, from my material that I'm reading, my information, this is a Warner Brothers production. And it's Dr. X, starring Faye Ray. She later stars in The Most Dangerous Game, 1932. A little, it's about, Hunter Game style. You have to kill humans to survive on this island. Anyway, that's, look up The Most Dangerous Game. And you know her from King Kong. But if you want to see some early Faye Ray, I really suggest Dr. X. It's very well recommended. But I haven't seen it. But I'm going to see it. I'm making a suggestion of a movie that I haven't seen. But I just heard so much great things about this movie. And I'm looking forward to seeing this film. 76 minutes long. But, so my first recommendations of a movie that I have seen is Murders in the Rue Morgue, number 1. It's only an hour minute. It's literally like 62 minutes long. Like an hour. Full blast hour. Edgar Allan Poe. Bela Lugosi right after Dracula. Right after Dracula. Boom, bit, bop. Right after Dracula, he did his film. And in the same year, before King Kong, there's Dr. X, which I'm looking forward to watching. Maybe tonight or maybe tomorrow night, because I want to see some Warner Brothers horror films from the 30s. We focus on Universal. Of course, they were major players, but there are great pre-cult cinema films that are from other studios other than Universal. Because we all like going to Universal, but we have to give other studios their props, like Warner Brothers and MGM, Paramount, and etc. So, signing off from the world according to Lonza. I hope you enjoyed my poetry reading tonight. And I hope you had a great and wonderful Halloween with you and your family. And my jack-o'-lantern is saying goodnight. And I will talk to you guys later. See you guys later. So, goodbye. Thank you.